Hey guys, welcome back to the Comic Book Lowdown. I'm Wellington, and today is Thursday, which means I'm doing another FDCR, or Free Digital Comic Review. This is where I get a free comic online, maybe from Comixology or Marvel or anything like that, and I review the issue solely on the issue without knowing anything about what happens before or after, without taking any of that into account. And I can start at any point I want, or whatever issue it is, that's where I read it. It could be a #1 issue, it could be a 600th issue, doesn't matter. But today, we're going to continue the trend in our second episode with another #1 issue. And if you already have an idea of what it is, good observation, because it has to deal with this guy right here. And this is Deadpool issue #1. But not issue #1 from Daniel Way, but issue #1 by Jeff Loeb, and or the pencils by Ed McGuinness. So this is from 1997, and first issue. So there's nothing that I can not know about in this, pretty much. In this issue, we get a couple of characters introduced to us. Not in a way that, the way that they introduce the characters in this is almost in a way as if we should already know who the characters are. And if you know who the characters are, then you really won't have a problem reading this. But if you don't know who the characters are, you'll get to know them, but it's kind of weird at the beginning when they talk about somebody and then you can't put a face to who they are. So, like, for example, I knew who Weasel was, and when they talk about Weasel, I already knew who it was, so there was no real introduction needed for there, and they didn't really do an introduction for him. But Patch is apparently this guy that hands out mercenary assignments, and I'm not very familiar with that character, so thankfully he was pretty much the first character that you really see, and he's addressed by Patch, so I guess it's a good enough intro for his character. But I'd like to learn a little bit more. Maybe stuff happens later in the book, or later in the run, but we're not. For right now, we're on this issue. And this issue is pretty much establishing Deadpool and his the way he talks. It's very on point to his character. He doesn't really talk with different voices in his head. I don't know if that concept had been introduced yet, but he does talk to himself a lot. So maybe that in his head voices is going on, but we just don't get to hear it, or we don't get to read it, at least. And another thing, though, Deadpool in this, comparing this to now Daniel Way's stuff, he has a lot more of a human personality in this. He talks with people, he makes good conversation with people, he has emotions. Yeah, he's a regular person that is kind of just dumb in a way. He kind of just talks to himself, and that's really the only crazy thing about him, besides, his healing factor and all that kind of stuff. But that's just his character. And this, now, he has a different personality than what I'm used to and what we get now in Deadpool. Another thing that we have is good character interactions. Character interaction between Weasel and Deadpool and Blind Owl. And Deadpool, Blind Owl is introduced to this in a pretty funny way. It involves a Girl Scout and all this kind of stuff. It's not hilarious funny, but it's good. You'll like this issue if you like Deadpool. First of all, I like Deadpool. And if you're looking for more of a human Deadpool, kind of, not a human, but a more better personality for Deadpool, you'll like this issue. Problems that I had with this issue were Maybe it was just me today, but kind of felt like the issue was a little long. I think it's like 35 pages, so it's kind of long issue. Um, it is a first issue though, and that was really my only problem. I like the art and I like the writing in this. It all flow together pretty well. Characters that you don't know yet are these two characters that have been following Deadpool around and following his steps that he's been doing and his missions that he's going about. And at the end, you kind of get introduced to him, but you don't really know what they're all about. And they really set you up for a next issue, which is very good. So it kind of draws you in, keeps you in, keeps you reading. I thought that was pretty good. One of my favorite things about this is actually seeing Deadpool, getting assignments and stuff. In Daniel Way's run, you don't really see him getting just assignments over the table type of thing. He really it's always just him, and he might get an assignment from, for example, there was a story arc in Daniel Way's Deadpool where Deadpool goes to like Transylvania or something, and he gets an assignment to help one people, and it's all this big thing. I might maybe review it sometime in the way future. No pun intended, Daniel Way. But in this he gets assignments over the table where there's just a room full of mercs. T-Ray is in there as well. You're introduced to him just as another merc, but he does show up at the end of Daniel Way's Deadpool run, so there's a connection there with Deadpool that I've read, and then this issue, and it's just fun to see because this is Deadpool as a mercenary. What you get most of the time in Daniel Way's run is just tracking Deadpool's life. He does some mercenary work, but closer to the end, all he wants to do is try to be a superhero, or at least be considered as a hero, and he tries hard at it, and he fails, and all that kind of stuff. In this issue, he's kind of accepts, like, yep, I'm a mercenary, so, just give me my assignment, and I'll do my assignment. And that's really how he thinks. He gets an assignment, and he does it. He gets no more details than what the assignment is and how to do it. And in this, they lie to him in the assignment, and they say that he has to pretty much blow up this, blow up or just demolish this whole building area in Antarctica, and that in it has gamma rays and all this kind of stuff. It's holding gamma radiation, and in the report they say that it's unmanned, but in reality there's people there. So he says a funny joke. There's funny jokes in here. Nothing is hilarious, laugh out loud type of funny like you're getting right now in the new Deadpool stuff, the Marvel Now Deadpool, and but I suspect that there will be moments like that in later issues in this run, but for this issue you kind of just get one-liners in this, but they're not. I've heard some people complain about Deadpool's one-liners and all that kind of stuff, but they admittedly aren't Deadpool fans, so if you're a Deadpool fan, you kind of want those one-liners, you kind of want all that slapstick stuff. So definitely that's another thing I enjoy out of this issue. Anything else I enjoy? Character interaction with Deadpool and this guy named the Sasquatch, or his name. He's a doctor. He's a physicist, and his name is Dr. Walter Lebowski or Lebowski. I can't really say his last name, but and he turns into, he's a regular guy, big guy, and then he turns into this Canadian god Sasquatch, and there's some character interaction with them. It's not too much of a fight. It's just, the doctor knowing what will happen if Deadpool and when Deadpool just does serious damage to this plant, this scientific lab, and this gamma radiation plant. And he's trying to stop Deadpool, but all Deadpool knows is the assignment and getting his money. And but Deadpool does show his want to be a hero, and he does actually, in turn, save the day from himself, really, at the end of this, and it's very nice. And you know, you don't get too much healing factor in this, although he mentions it a lot more towards the end. You never actually see it in action like you would in Daniel Way's stuff, or even in newer stuff where he gets his head blown off and all this kind of different stuff. But anyways, just to wrap this up, I really like this issue. I want to read more. I don't expect the rest of the issues in this run to be so long, and I like this characterization of Wade Wilson and Deadpool. You know, you get so much Deadpool as the crazy guy with all the jokes and stuff, and that's where you need the characters around Deadpool to have more personality and to fit in his story, in a good story, where in this you can wrap the story more around Deadpool and around, you know, his inner thinking and the way he does things. And it's just a different take from what we get today. So anyways, that about wraps it up with my video. This is episode 2 of the Free Digital Comic Reviews, or FDCR. And I'm Wellington Reyes signing off with the Comic Book Lowdown, and I'll see you guys next time.